Catch us up on where we were. Well, first some announcements. Emerald, our druid, will not be with us for approximately 11 weeks. He is going to Ghana to do a missions trip, have some fun over there. So kudos to you out there, getting back to your roots, my man. So it'll be us. I'm in the works of trying to find some other people to join. And if you guys find anybody, let me know as well. Other than that, to catch us up from last week, we were at the point where you guys were discussing with Blackie what to do.
Not last week, the week before that. Last week, you guys were on your cruise.
Our last session.
Oh, yeah. Is he not on?
You really won't be able to see too much there, Ryan.
No,
It's okay.
I think it's more so you can see the map.
Yeah. Booyah! What's up? So we're just gonna play and have some fun and throw it on there, and I'll try and fix it and see what's going on. So, last week you guys were discussing a way of getting out of the goblin area, or the sacrifices, as Lackey was chosen to be a sacrifice for tonight. We ended with the sounds of the beating drum as the gate shifts open to what we know as ceremony time or sacrifice time, and that is where we'll pick up. Whereas you guys hear the doors kind of open up, you see a series of about 7 to 10 goblins kind of come in. You guys all notice that the goblin has a stone in his hand, a very, very unique stone, just probably about maybe a foot wide, and he kind of comes in just holding the stone. And a lot of the prisoners here, based on what you found out prior, that was the artifact in which the goblins used to stun their foes. So as the goblin comes in, he's kind of looks around. Lackey, it's time to go! And Lackey starts to move forward into that area. You see no resistance from anybody yet. Are you guys doing anything?
I look around. Where am I exactly when this is happening?
So where you guys are at, if you know where the gates are at, you guys were all pretty much staying by the gate, like by the spiderling gate, the war gate.
Okay.
So he is essentially moving throughout the whole.
And wasn't there something that was like pinning us to the ground or something like that?
Nope.
No.
Not yet.
So how did we decide we're going to do this?
So I just yell out that term.
What term?
The whatever that thing is called.
I don't know what that thing is called.
What?
Goblin quarry.
Okay, so that's what you say?
Yep.
So some of the goblins just look at you. What? Like they have no idea what you just said.
Well, that's what he told me.
Who's he? Are you like?
Blackie.
Oh.
Saying that to you, like that's what I have written down. That's what Blackie said that it was called. Was a goblin quarry.
A Gobletori.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lackey turns and also he says, "Yes, Baltimore," and he looks over at the other goblin and he goes, "I invoke the right of Gobletori." And the goblins immediately say something in Goblin. You're not quite sure because I don't think anybody here speaks Goblin. But the stone starts to light up almost like in fire on his hand, and he doesn't seem to be hurt. But a stream of red energy starts to flow throughout the room, almost in a bunch of tendrils all reaching out to the different slaves, including yourselves. And I need everybody to roll a Constitution check. Saving throw. I'm sorry.
25.
25.
17.
17.
Yeah, 25.
22.
22. So, immediately you feel this gut-wrenching pain in the middle of your stomach and just a weight of a lot of weight just shove you down to the ground. And you almost feel like as if your body is being pressed into the concrete floor. However, you guys all notice that when the tendril of magical energy starts to flow to Emerald, his saber tooth that he holds around his neck began to also give its own green essence. Shoot, he has something else that I can't remember right now. You also see a second item somewhere on Emerald also begin to give another somewhat yellow-ish magical energy, as now it seems like these three energies are now fighting.
Motherfucker, the Green Lantern or something?
So, as the magical energy starts to kind of take its form, as these three colors are fighting, you start to begin to see it starts to surround Emerald. Emerald, not knowing what's going on, is like,
where's my hat?
Do I cast Wind Wall? What do I do?
Hopefully this will take me where my hat is.
And another, now at this point, the magical energy is starting to swirl around Emerald more and more and more as you begin to see the magical energy. You no longer seeing Emerald almost begin to stretch and thin, like almost like a black hole, like a spaghetti, like the spaghetti effect, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then it gets real thin, and then
is he just gonna disappear?
All of the energy gets sucked into the stone, and all of a sudden everybody's weight is lifted, and the stone goes from a fiery red to a fiery green.
The stone that's in the goblin's hand.
I get up.
Okay, so you get up. Yeah, that'll do.
So is there anything else lying?
Huh?
Okay, never.
So as you get,
Emerald is still there then. He
Emerald's
disappeared.
gone.
Okay, so what about the other objects? Is it just the stone, or is there
just
like another object lying on the floor?
all of what is Emerald, objects and all, which he didn't really have objects, but he had like the necklace that they just left on him.
Okay.
Goes from like it was him, and then it goes to a magical energy into a tube, and then it shoots all back into this rock that turns green.
Like, are we
like
talking
fiery
like
green.
Ghostbusters, like they're like sucking up the ghosts in Batman
It's
kind
not
of
necessarily
style?
like a sucking. It's more of like a one big huge zip. Like,
Gotcha.
whoosh.
Gotcha.
And the goblin like looks at his hand, and then fire just encases his whole body as the stone drops and rolls over to you guys. And yeah, so that's what happens there.
Real quick, I make a
All
perception
goblins
check
are-
around.
Do we
Yeah,
touch it? Does somebody pick it up?
I look around. What's happening right now? Like I just observe.
Oh, everybody's surprised. Everybody's like, what thing is going on right now?
Okay.
I pick it up.
All right, so you go over and you pick it up. It's still on a fiery green, but it's not doing anything to you. You just get this warm sensation of like a heating warmth, not necessarily like fire, but it's just like a nice warm, almost like a sock that you put in the microwave with rice. It's kind of like that.
Sorry, they put in the
Wax is
microwave.
only taking like a step or two in front of us, right?
He's like halfway. He's probably like 2 or 3 steps ahead of you right now.
What's the expression
Like you guys are
on his
about halfway past Baltimore. You're like halfway into halfway through the room, and Lackey's just a couple steps ahead of you.
What they
So I
push on
take a
Lackey's.
couple more steps and I put the stone in Lackey's hand. Well, I go to offer it if he chooses to take it. You know, you may know more
Yeah,
about
no,
this.
yeah, that's what I was rolling for. Lackey does not want anything. He's like, no, no. Did you see what happened to that goblin? I'd rather be sacrificed.
What are the two other goblins that one goblin came in? What are they doing?
The 7 other goblins? They're all processing what's going on right now. There is no. They're like, this was supposed to be an item that was supposed to help them, and they just saw it burn one of their leaders. So they are essentially right now. They're almost like kept a defensive stance. They don't want an uproar happening right now.
Yeah, they're just. But they're right in front of the gate.
Correct.
Right?
And Ryan, if roll a perception check for me, or Baltimore, I'm sorry.
That's not that great. 23.
Okay. As you look down, or as you're kind of maneuvering the rock, you notice that not only is it somewhat green in fire, the fire starts to dim down to just the stone. What looks to be like a like a charcoal almost, but there is an insignia on it that gives a faint green glow like a pulsing green glow every couple seconds or so. And it looks like that.
Okay.
You guys want to hold on to that?
Yeah, we got it.
So, some of the other goblins kind of look at each other. Ceremony will continue. Lackey, come on. As for your Gobletori, we'll take it up with the shamans. And Lackey just kind of keeps moving forward. So, Lackey comes within the grasp of those goblins. You see him get pushed, shoved. One of Leandra's people also kind of go over and shove Lackey in front, not really liking him at this point. And you see them walk out.
I'm gonna when I see that guy coming up to push Lackey and stuff, I'm gonna go over to him and punch him in the face.
Okay, well this would be so like the gate is, or the door is not closing at this point.
I understand. I'm gonna punch that guy in the face and start a fight.
Go ahead and attack.
What's Otis doing?
Otis is just against the wall right now.
Just pure strength, right?
Is he looking? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is he looking at me at all? That I have the stone in my hand?
Yeah, he sees you.
So, can I kind of inadvertently point to this and give a face of question mark, is this the artifact you were talking about?
That was supposed to be the artifact that we're talking about. I don't know what he does now, and I don't want to know. Especially if he's going to start setting people on fire.
So I immediately put it inside my underwear.
Cool. So you get that nice warm sock feeling right by the right testicle.
Oh, we have the essence of emerald in a ball, and the first place it goes, in between your crotch.
So, and you go over, you just take,
what I wanted.
you just kind of hit him. He just kind of looks at you, just kind of giving a smile of somewhat, a little bit of victory in just that little shove of Lackey, but doesn't quarrel back.
I hit him again.
Okay, roll initiative.
Natural 20, so I got a 23. Natural 20 again
Okay.
for the attack.
Okay.
Do I get 2 attacks? Because I am level 5, so
Yeah.
nice. So,
Natural 20 on the next attack.
yeah, I know, right? Nope. 16 for that one, so that one still
Yeah,
hits,
they both
right?
hit, yeah.
Alright, so for the first one, what should I...
D4. You're hit with your fist, right?
Yeah, just D4.
Yeah, just first one's critted, so double it. Ooh, you hit him right across the nose.
I got a total of just 6 altogether.
6. So you deck him. You see some blood now coming out. He looks at you.
He's not doing anything.
Not doing anything. You see him kind of look over at Leandro, and she kind of gives like somewhat of a nod, and then he just looks at you, and then he just takes.
Come on, fight me, big boy.
He takes a stance.
Okay, so I go charging at him.
Go ahead.
So, but it's his turn, I assume, or was that his turn?
That was his turn.
That was his turn. All right. 2 attacks coming at his face again. This one of them.
You get disadvantage on both.
On both?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first one does not hit. Okay. 17 for the second hit.
Alright. So the first one, you come in and he just, and then he comes back, and then right as you get that one opening where you're just, and you go in.
4 damage.
4. So yeah.
Come on! Stop all this dancing around, fairy boy. And I go, like, whatever his turn is now. Yes.
That's his turn?
That's his turn. I'm gonna keep going for him then. 2 attacks.
Disadvantage.
14 probably doesn't hit, right? No, 13. No? Okay. Natural 1. Okay.
So you kind of come in and he parries the first one, and then you kind of losing your step. He kind of just, you go in for the second hit, and he just kind of grabs your arm, throws you to the ground. You're prone.
Okay. This point now, I'm just pissed. I'm gonna punch the ground. And I'm going into a rage now.
Okay, so you punch the ground, you rage because it's his turn now. But
yeah, I just hadn't used my bonus action yet, so I mean, that is, I'll still be prone, but
Sure.
I'm using that turn to go into a rage.
again, he looks over at Leandra, and Leandra now just kind of looks at 2 other people, and they come in and go. The one that you were fighting is just gonna try and grapple you. So roll strength.
Yeah, okay, so 25.
25? Oh god, you did. Okay, so he goes and like puts his foot right on the back of your neck.
Okay.
And he goes to like pull up your arm.
I just let out, and I'm just going crazy.
Sure that I'm not. Okay, sure go. Alright.
So yeah, I'm just going into a rage at this point. So I guess half my movement to get up, and I'll attack with him. And I'm going to use this bonus to go into a frenzied rage so I can get a 3rd attack.
Sure. All your attacks are at disadvantage.
Okay, no problem. First one probably doesn't hit. It's a natural 20. Doesn't hit now.
So, flailing on the floor.
Don't care. Don't care. I'm going crazy, just screaming out profanity. Fuck you! Eat a dick! Just full on tantrum, and the fact that I just know I can't do anything. I'm completely helpless. I'm just in a cage. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Emerald's now gone. I'm just full of rage and hate and anger. So really, if you really want to keep this going, cool. But at this point, I'm just a kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's okay. They rounded you up pretty good.
Okay,
so
cool.
you have one kind of get in, snake arm your right arm. The other one snake arms your other arm.
Can I do one more strength and
You can try. Go for it, please.
in rage? I have advantage, so natural 20.
Cool. So as you're trying to push out, you are not budging on your arms.
Okay.
You're just
Alright, no worries, I got
2 natural crits.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I was like, 2 out of the 3 got natural crits.
Crits, yeah.
You're not
My one crit's not
Yeah,
gonna,
you're not
still
moving.
doesn't break
So,
one of the other crits. I got
and
you.
the other one kind of has his back, and Leander kind of comes over to you, and she's like, if you're thinking about doing a Gobletori, I would suggest you save your strength. Because I will kill you here.
That's it. Just in her face.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use that.
So what's going on with other slaves? Are they like standing there like me going, what the heck just happened?
Essentially, yeah. Some of the other ones are just like, so what's going on? Wait, what just happened? Who died?
But does anybody look scared, or are they just kind of like, well, that was interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of like, that was interesting. Not necessarily they were scared, only because like you can tell like some of them have been there quite a while.
Yeah.
So they've seen some stuff.
Well, no emerald, so how are we gonna do this Gobletori thing? You can have 4 people.
You're not 100% sure, but from what you know, you can have 3 to 4 people depending on what the actual rules are.
Did we have any indication that Otis or Leandra wanted to be any part of that?
I don't think you spoke to them.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But from previous gameplay,
You're not sure. Your other teammates are them. So you'd have to talk to them about it.
I want to go stand over by Ryan, or Baltimore, sorry.
Okay.
He's still holding this rock thing in his hand. Oh, well, never mind. It's not
No,
his hand.
you see it. Skadoosh.
So, Baltimore, how do you propose we're going to do this Gobletori?
I keep forgetting I mute myself. Well,
Any
think
words from
that,
that god of yours?
what?
I said, any words from that god of yours?
Probably not. I think he's mad at me. I don't know.
No words of wisdom? Alright.
I mean, I could try to pray to him, but it doesn't seem to be working. But I still think that... Is Otis right next to me right now? Or he's just off to the side?
He's off to the side, yeah.
Okay. So I still think that my idea is maybe the best way to go about it, possibly. With Rahun, big dude over there, Wacky, and myself. And as I said, that everybody's just going to rotate in and out. And I'll do the best I can to heal.
So I'm just going to stay here in the dungeon with all of these other slaves.
Well,
Explain.
Otis hears you, and he kind of looks over to you. He said, I said I would do it if we had a significant edge on the chieftains. And right now it does not look like we have a significant edge on the chieftains.
How do we not have a significant edge? I can heal everybody.
Is there any possible way that we can
They
get
have
hands?
shamans, and they will probably be healed.
What about that orb?
What on?
The thing that burned that goblin alive.
I have no idea how that works, and I don't want to chance it.
Is there
I'd rather
any
not
way we
stick
can
my
get
life
our
on something I
hands
don't know?
on some weapons?
I mean, what's really your life right now?
My life is perfect where I like it.
In a cave, serving goblins.
Surviving.
Just saying,
To lose a Gobletori is death.
stay here is death.
No, stay here is surviving until I
Well,
have
for
another
you,
group.
maybe.
Yeah.
Not for us, so frankly, that is our edge.
Well, that sounds like a you thing, not really mine.
Is there any way we can get our hands on some weapons?
Nope.
Not even a bow.
I lean
Not
over.
unless you're gonna grab one of theirs. And he points up to the goblins that are kind of like up on the crevices on the tunnel area.
I lean over to Cass and just whisper.
He's outside the dungeon. I don't know how to communicate with him right now. Unless I can somehow manage to get out that snake hole over there.
I just want to start meditating.
Emerald was my best
Right.
chance at getting in touch with Corpus, and as we can all see, he is no longer here.
Yeah. Baltimore, could I see that glowy thing?
I am meditating. And no, it's fine. I picked it up.
How many elves are standing up there?
How many elves?
Or it's a goblin, sorry.
There's 3 on each side.
So 6 total. Will they be gone for this ritual thing? Do they leave, or are they always hovering above our dungeon?
Who are you asking?
Otis. He would know.
I don't know. I've never seen a Gobletori. I just
Yes, but
heard of another slave getting out that way.
right. Are the goblins always there?
She's talking
Yeah.
about the ones on the ridge.
They switch out. I mean, when they sleep, it drops down to 2, but it's always there's always goblins there.
Could we wait until night and hijack 2 of them?
Do you know what nighttime is?
Well, when there's 2 and not 6.
We could try. I mean, people have tried that in the past.
To no avail?
We don't know a way out of the tunnels. We had 2 slaves that tried to do it, went into the tunnels, and
So you've been stuck
The-
in this cage for how many years, and you have never once tried to attack the goblins that watch over you?
I haven't. Other slaves have. I want to survive and live.
Well, you haven't
Coward.
tried.
I cowered and I just walked away, and I'm gonna go inspect the front gate, and I'm gonna investigate and try to figure out whatever I can, whatever weak points I can in the metal structure or framing or anything like that.
Is there any-
trying to use my blacksmithing or forging knowledge to do anything.
You can make an investigation check. But
Kind of bouncing off that, is there any visible way to reach the goblins? How far up is that?
they're approximately about 30 feet up. 30 to 40 feet up.
14.
14? Just looks like a basic door. With you and forgery, you made more weapons and armor, not necessarily doors. And
I understand that, but I'm just trying to any kind of metal work, just
Anybody know-
understanding metal and material.
Does anybody know how to charm a goblin?
I don't do charming, I do intimidating.
I'm still meditating.
so, after a couple minutes go by, you start hearing voices coming from the other side of the door as the door again opens up.
I'm just watching the door and how it works.
And it's almost like a latch on the other side, and then it kind of opens up like that. So you see a couple goblins kind of come in, just about 4 or 5 of them. One of them kind of stands out at this point. One is kind of covered in fur, a bunch of little trinkets, bones, coins, necklaces, with a staff. Very much hunched over. You can see a kind of an older goblin as he kind of comes in. The ceremony will begin. Follow me and don't try anything.
I look back real quick, I shrug, and I follow.
So you see Otis walk, you see Leander walk. Some of the other slaves are just like, no, I don't know how to even go through this. But the 3 that Leander kind of trained also follow her out. You follow?
Oh yeah, I follow.
That's all.
Baltimore,
I
again?
fall behind Cass.
Alright. So behind you guys, the goblins kind of fill out. The goblin last just. And now getting a good look at the lock if you want to make a perception check.
Yes, please. Oh, nice. 21.
21. So now looking back at the lock, you can definitely tell it's a lever. So it's one big massive iron lever, and then when it's pulled up, it's pushed out. And knowing this, you know that if you could find a way to get in between the cracks, there is potentially to wiggle and move that iron.
Okay.
It takes some time, and it does take some intricate tools, but
It could possibly work.
it's a possibility. So as you guys exit and then turn right into the big arena or area, you tell that torches have been lit throughout the whole area. The steps have been decorated. There is two ropes that kind of lead over the stairs or over the lava pit right by the statue. So if this is the statue, there's two ropes that go out, and right here there's Lackey, and then there's also I don't have his figure. We'll just use him. You see Tamaron, and both wrapped up. You can tell that if they were to just pull,
they would die.
They go down.
Yeah.
And you hear throughout the caves goblin chanting. You don't make out any of the words, but it's very guttural in tone, very low, and you hear cackling and hissing and laughter echo throughout the whole place, as everyone has come to see the ceremony, usually or the sacrifices. You don't see Surdesh. You don't see him. He doesn't seem to have partaken in this for whatever reason. You see on the floor, not necessarily anybody. It's just kind of open. And you guys all kind of come out here. With a couple of goblins. And this will be my shaman, I guess. To come out, here we go. I'll just use this. I know it's a shaman. To move forward out. As you guys kind of get to the middle area, the shaman that you guys saw kind of puts his hands up as now the whole cave kind of comes to a complete silence. A couple of snickering here and there, some feet pattering as you see goblins coming in and out of the tunnel. And he kind of looks at you all. Lackey has invoked the right of Gobletori. Do we allow this? And you hear just a bunch of chattering in Goblin. You don't really know what exactly they're talking about. You hear Lackey. You see Lackey just kind of looking around, trying to figure out what are they trying to go for? What are they trying to do? What do they do? So after a while of bickering, he puts his hand up again as everything goes silent. The Gobletori is not known to many, but the right of Gobletori will stand. Release Lackey, and Lackey shall choose his champions. Only 4 may participate. So you see a couple goblins kind of go over to Lackey, unstrap him. Lackey just kind of rubbing his arm, kind of looks over at you guys.
I step forward and I go, "You got me, bro."
Can I'm just gonna kind of say I'm lackey. I'm not much of use without a bow.
I step forward, and he said choose, right? So, Lackey, you could technically choose Otis.
Do you say that?
Yes.
So Lackey kind of turns to the shaman and he goes, Shaman O'Neill, if I choose, do they have to participate? And the shaman kind of turns to Lackey and he goes, choose who you will, but keep in mind, it is your team. However they choose to fight is up to you. No weapons. Only chieftains get weapons.
So could he technically, I'm generally out, could he technically like choose Saradesh then as his champion?
Yeah. If he wanted to. I don't think he wants to though.
Okay.
So Lackey he goes, Rahun, will you fight with me? Thank you. Baltimore, will you fight with me?
I mean, this was my idea, so yeah, I guess so.
He looks over at Otis and Leandro. Will you fight with me? Otis kind of crosses his hands and gives a nod, no. Leandra also, she looks at Lackey and she goes, Lackey, if this is how my revenge is going to be, so be it. I'll see you die. As she also steps back.
Oh my gosh. So moral of this story is that if we win, Leandra still stays a fucking slave.
So Tamron at this point, he's looking over at the guy and he's like,
I suggest him. He's a buddy of ours. He'll fight with us.
So Lackey turns and then looks back at you, Cass. You can't do anything?
Well, I have an owl.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
What is your name? Tamron. Will you fight with me? Yeah, hell yeah, I will.
That a boy. Go over. I'll help take Tamara.
So, with that, some goblins kind of come around and latch on. And the shaman looks at Lackey. You guys all kind of, move to the pitch. And you see Tamara just kind of looks. And the shaman looks at you two.
I'd move over to the pit.
Alright.
I begin to move over. I move over, but as I move over, I'm like, is there any way to talk about the rules of this at all? I'm new around here in these parts.
I'm new around these parts.
So, as you're kind of moving over, the shaman says, yes, the rules. The Gobletori is an ancient art, only known to goblins, and however these slaves figure this out, we don't know, we'll figure this out. The Gobletori rules stand, one-on-one combat only. As you hear the goblins kind of take this upon themselves. Only chieftains allowed weapons, slaves, and underlings no. You will fight for your life. You will take on each chieftain, all 16.
Nice.
So at this point, Lackey kind of looks at me and says, wait, 16? And he kind of looks at, not the War Masters. And then the shaman O'Neill says, yes, The War Masters will be participating. Whoa, just all of a sudden the roars just get louder. And then a shaman kind of looks over, waves his hand. The lineup is Rezmiak, then Vumril, Click, Vakul, Yag, Guild, Voil, myself, Glearsack, Fjert, Kildick, Zux, Closium, Diogor, and for the Horde Masters, Vagat and Kriak. If the slaves make it this far, Surdash will have final answer.
Is this a fight to the death?
Yes.
Do we get to keep what we kill?
No.
Well, fuck you then. So fuck you.
I pat Blackie on the back and I say, all right, so what weapon are you going to choose?
Lackey turns to me. I don't think I get a weapon.
Chieftain,
Yeah, you do. You're a chieftain.
No, if you want to try and do that, I don't think they'll give me a weapon.
Does Lackey get a weapon? He's a chieftain technically.
So, he puts his hand out. Dwarf, Lackey is a lower chieftain. And a goblin and a lower chieftain is not even seen as the lower slave. He is lower than the lower slave.
Then do I get a weapon since I'm higher ranked than him?
You are not a chieftain.
True.
So when he says that Lackey is technically lower than a slave, I just want to look at Lackey and be like, and you said you were above me? Please. Anyway,
I just look over at Baltimore and I'm like, we haven't even started yet and you're already downing the team. Like,
no, I'm not down in the team. I'm just saying, he was like, oh, I'm above you. Oh,
that's true. That's true. No, yeah.
What was the guy's name? Did he actually introduce himself? No, this old goblin?
Yeah, he just said all 16 names.
Well, no, he didn't say his name though. He said myself. Through.
You heard Lackey specify his name earlier. Lackey knows him as O'Neill.
O'Neill. Okay, sorry, I missed that part. Okay, so does O'Neill have a title, or did he just say O'Neill?
Just O'Neill.
O'Neill. Okay. So I say, Sir O'Neill, I understand what you're saying. However, I'm not too familiar with goblins stuff, but I know that for myself, something that is ancient and is has a lot of honor behind it, it still seems to follow certain rules. And I would imagine, even though that yes, Lackey is beneath us, and I chuckle as I say that, even though he may be beneath us, he is still technically a chieftain appointed by yourselves. And I would imagine that to honor this ancient ritual, this ancient ceremony, that Lackey would still be entitled to a weapon of his choice due to the fact that he does still have a title of chieftain regardless of what he is a chieftain of.
I mean, you even yourself keep calling him a chieftain.
I give him the title chieftain. I haven't called him my chieftain.
No, I'm saying the shaman, dude.
Roll a persuasion.
Persuasion, something great. That's a 22.
O'Neill kind of raises his hand as the cave gets quiet again. You are correct in the way that we keep our ancient traditions, and ancient traditions also suggest that no lower slave, chieftain or not, will receive a weapon.
Okay.
However, I will leave it to the horde, and the horde just gets crazy again. As he holds his hand up. Do we let Lackey, chieftain of the lower ranks, a weapon?
I'm the first one to just be like, yeah! Hopefully it's that awkward silence.
Maybe we should all try and get sucked into that group.
Yeah, I know, right? Emerald right now has it good. He's in paradise inside a
So
board.
before you go on, where are the rest of us slaves who are not participating in this? Is there any way that I can, since everybody is in
No,
this
tell me,
room
tell
though, and we're all surrounded by goblins, and everybody's in this
Yeah,
room
he's right out
basically,
here.
is there any possible way that I can stealthily sneak off or make my way down a tunnel without being noticed? I want to try.
Make a stealth check.
Since
That'd be
I'm of
good.
no freaking use here, so I rolled a 1.
A roll.
So-
Yeah,
So,
that's
as everything kind of comes, you like start to back up, and you're like, you fall into the goblin. And the goblin's like, yeah, and he throws you back up. Good try though.
Alright, well, that was graceful.
So you hear some goblin words being thrown around, and now it's more of not necessarily like a crowd. It's more of like a couple goblins speak out over here, then a couple goblins speak out over there. Now it's almost like a council, like almost like they're actually talking about certain things, and Lackey's just kind of looking around, paying attention, and. One of them kind of gets really hyped up. you really have no idea, but you can tell he's angry. He's mad.
During that commotion, I'm going to find this hefty rock. Nice little.
Any of the hefty rocks are going to be like on the outer side, and the only way to be it would be like over here. So you'd actually have to move like 10 feet.
No, I got you. No worries. Is it just like sandpit or cobblestone around me?
Kind of like cobblestone. Not
Just more-
yeah.
more
It's more like
cobblestone.
hard. Yeah.
Okay.
So, can I like yell out in common or no?
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want.
So I just want to yell out in common, like, wouldn't it be more entertaining for you all if Lackey also had a weapon?
Are you
So
not entertained?
as the conversation's still going on, O'Neill looks at you and he says, "This is not about entertainment. This is about
That makes me
tradition
pretty hyped up. But I understand. I'm sorry.
and the will to
I
live."
will keep my mouth shut.
So you hear some of the goblins as now all of a sudden you hear the same words start being spoken, each and every single one. So you know that they're starting to come to a conclusion. Everyone roll a perception check.
That's what I'm good at. Not with the natural one, though.
23.
7.
You're the only one that notices this. The guy that was like really mad has a grin on his face.
Has a what?
A grin on his face, almost like he's getting his way. As that same word starts being spoken, and you also notice that Lackey now has a demeanor on his face like this is not going the way he wanted it to go, or he would like it to go.
Okay.
So some more conversations go by as the same word gets spoken out, and then everything kind of goes quiet. O'Neill looks to you and he goes, "Lackey will not be receiving a weapon. It has been decided by the Horde. Send your first champion." And Lackey goes to step forward. And he looks at you guys and he goes, "I'd rather start it. I was like, I brought you guys into this and I apologize."
I kind of protest to that. Lackey, we kind of brought this upon ourselves.
I immediately say, no, the fuck we didn't. He brought the horde to us.
So he still
But I accept your apology.
steps forward.
Lackey, you don't have to do this. I can easily take on these guys, no problem.
So he still steps forward, and the shaman looks down at Lackey and he goes, "Very well. Send forth Rashmik," as he goes and steps off to the side. And you just see a goblin come out of here, just holding a sword. Just kind of wrapped around. He does have a wooden shield. He goes, "Let us begin this!" And he goes in and runs forward. And Lackey, see him going like almost like a traditional monk stance, starting that fight.
During the start of the fight, that's when I am going to try and see if I can get over to the side.
Sure. For the first round, you see the goblin kind of take a slash. Immediately, Lackey parries, and then comes in with a side, and then hits him. You see, he just got jabbed. 1, 2. Wait, I need a pen. I need a pen.
Pencil, okay?
Yeah, pencil's fine.
I got one.
Oh, look at you being all nice and awesome. I just need it.
So, can I try and like slowly back up again?
Sure. Ooh. Good.